We're epic gamers. We're here to rank the Spider-Man PS4 suits, even though that was like 6 years ago.
Just because I haven't played the new game and Neil's played the first game, so we're good.
Yeah.
He played the PC version with all the fun mods.
Well, no mods. I played it raw. All right, so unfortunately, whoever made this tier maker did it alphabetically instead of when it's unlocked in the game. So we're gonna have to do this.
Sense.
We're gonna take off a tier. We're gonna take off E tier.
That's
we're gonna replace D tier with F tier because I believe in binaries in this world, even though there's 3 tiers between F and S. All right, so the first one is the Aaron Eichmann suit from like the first Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's like a
that's a C tier.
It's a C. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it looks pretty well realized, but I think the problem is that the suit only works in the art style it was based in, which was basically like pseudo manga-esque.
Yeah, they did a good job bringing what was on the page to the screen, and so therefore it's effective. That's why it's not an F1.
The problem is, like, you see all these other suits down here, like the Mangaverse and Into the Spider-Verse, and those suits do a much better job of using the stylization to its advantage. And this is just like, what if we made everything uber realistic? It's like an MCU suit, which we have money of in this list, unfortunately.
All right, next suit.
Next is the advanced suit, and I'm gonna put it in the A tier. And the reason is not S tier, and it's not because of the white spider. It's because of the goddamn texturing. It's not as aggressive as the ASM basketball suit, but the weird rusty orange texture on the suit is really weird, and I don't think it works.
They did fix it in the sequel.
Yeah, but in a vacuum though, it's unfortunately it looks good when you don't have a better lighting engine next to it. But so with the release of Gamerman 2, it's actually gone down a tier. But other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if we had spoken about this a year ago, I think it would probably be an S tier. Yeah, I agree.
The anti-ox suit, C tier.
Yeah.
The unfortunate truth of the anti-ox suit is Peter doesn't need a special suit to defeat his villains.
No, it's a fun narrative trope.
It's the same ending to the Avengers game where they all get like the super Stark suits.
It's fine in story. In practicality with the story, though, it kind of is a little weak. It's the weakest part of the finale. I can certainly say that.
Honestly, if Peter had gone back to like the classic costume to fight Otto on the top of Oscorp building, that would have been peak. Ultimately, I don't think it serves any purpose. It doesn't have any like obvious upgrades aside from like it looks shinier. And I
thought it gave you a little more invulnerability, if I recall. But
it does. Its thing is like resupply. We're not talking about we're not ranking by abilities, by the way. We're talking about narrative purpose and aesthetic. Ultimate power is like resupply, where it resupplies your gadgets faster.
So other than that, it
didn't really have a purpose to exist other than, look, guys, we paralleled the bad guys' technology. You know, maybe Peter thought to himself he could distract Otto with how shiny it was. Big time suit, A tier.
Yeah, it's an A tier.
Pretty faithful realization of suit. I actually think this is one of the few suits where they didn't need the extra detailing, like the weird shoulder pads. Like it would have been fine as just like a black spandex suit with Tron lights. Yeah. But it doesn't suffer with the addition of those details. I do wish you could have gotten the ability to swap between the 3 colors, because it did have like a blue and a red mode.
Yeah,
which I think would have been a cool addition, but you know, it wouldn't make sense to like alter the entire user interface just for the colors. Bagman, S tier.
Slightly disagree.
I'm thinking about the extra details. Yeah, they added like all the extra piping and stuff. That's a problem.
The extra piping is not really the thing that bothers me the most. It's the addition of the eyes on the head, like on the bag itself. That bothers me. And granted, I know I'm biased because like I'm a Ron Friend stan. I love that they brought it into the game, so that's why it's an A tier.
In the new game, they put in the slot costume, right? from Empire.
Yeah, I believe so. But again, I hate that we had to eliminate suits to bring new suits.
Aren't you excited for the $4.99?
Shut up! I don't want to talk. It's the jazzercise costumes being $5. It's all the other bullshit suits that nobody gives a shit about. Like, that's my issue. And when we get to more of the Insomniac stuff, I'll talk about it. But like,
the jazz costume is peak though for Miles. Oh, look at this thing! It makes my dopamine levels go higher.
Let's get to an S tier suit because I think the original suit's S tier.
This I'm gonna put the damaged one in A tier mainly because I don't think it's really necessary. It's just kind of a way to, I think, make you. It's a way to make you web swing through the city in a suit to justify the advanced suit. The regular suit is S tier though. Perfect tone, perfect color, perfect texture, perfect realization of the comics costume. I know people who would have argued that the web pits would make it 100%. We got those in the next game. So
yes, we did.
Cyborg Spider-Man.
Yeah, my 90s self would say A, but I agree with B. I think B's a fair ranking.
It does feel like they took the regular suit, the classic costume, and then kind of slapped some extra details on it.
Which is what Eric Larson did, let's be fair. It's funny how often that suit, despite only appearing in like 2 issues, has shown up in games.
Before the last game, we didn't have that many additions or that many suits to use.
Well, I'm talking like N64 Spider-Man. There was a ton of suits there, and I think it was in that game.
No.
Captain Universe, Ben Riley, both the Ben Riley suits, black suit. I mean, just basically any suit you could think of in that original suit. I actually, because of Javi, I have that first game. Maybe when I get a capture card, I can.
Okay, next suit. The stealth suit from Spider-Man Deadpool, the one you get from the Black Cat quest. I'm putting this in B tier.
Yeah, it's I would put it in C myself, but if you want to put it in B, that's fine.
No, I'm trying to even out the scores.
Yeah,
so that
I got you.
You know, it's a fairly comic accurate recreation. Of course, like I said, with the big time suit, it doesn't need like all the extra detailing and pinstriping and stuff. But I like the big time suit more, so I'm giving it more leeway. So, and also it's a pretty barren suit. It just has all it has is the red spider, so it doesn't really have a lot of extra detail. Anti-Electro suit.
Only ever made in a single appearance. ASM 425, written by Tom DeFalco. Steve Skaros designed this suit, I believe.
Jesus Christ, we're nerds.
That was like my peak. That was like when I really was paying attention to reading Spider-Man. So like that's in my first couple years of reading. So I have nostalgic feelings. I'm
gonna put it in B tier.
That's fine.
I actually think this is one of the few costumes where the extra detail kind of helps it. Like it uses the extra detailing and texture on the padding on the rib cage and outer thighs.
If you actually read ASM 425, it does not last very long.
Doesn't Electro like melt it?
Kind of. I mean, he basically just fries it off of Peter because at this point he got basically Max Dillon had used up all his electrical powers, and then he hooked him up to an electric chair and fried him to jumpstart his powers again. So he's like overclocked. So yeah. So that's why Peter designs this suit.
Is this like that one episode of the Ultimate cartoon?
Slightly, except he doesn't turn into like
Ultimate Electro.
Yeah, he's not Ultimate Electro with the energy source. Yeah, I also think Skaros did like 4 more issues, and then he left to go storyboard for a little independent film called The Matrix.
Next suit, the ESU. I'm putting this in C tier. Or no, okay, it's not like horrendous. I'm not putting it in F tier. F tier is reserved for like the worst suits. This is not the worst suit. This is kind of low effort. It's just like Peter's outfit that he wears for most of the game, I think. And then she's like, oh, what if he just wore that? Okay, you want a real F tier costume? This piece of crap.
Oh my god, the
Fear itself. It's out. It's done. We're washed.
That's prison ass. It's ass.
I don't remember if this made it into Spider-Man 2 or not. I hope it didn't. Otherwise, I'm getting mad that they didn't put big time in there. Future Foundation. Not an F tier look, despite sharing a similar first letter. This is an S tier costume for me.
I think they did a good job. Yeah, they did a good job.
Your moan of discontent implies that you disagree with my ranking.
I would say I put it in A. But if you want to put it as S,
I think the bug eyes, kind of expanded eyes, give it something to stand out against the very matted texture.
Agreed. I mean, it's a good suit. It really is. And that one was one that went out for free, which was always fun.
What do you think of the homecoming suit, or the homecoming homemade costume?
I think it's a good. I'd put it B. I'd put it B. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll put it. It's a good recreation of the suit from Homecoming. I don't want to put it in an A though, because I don't think it's like that amazing. This is when Insomniac was still kind of trying to figure out like the difference in textures between the suits.
Yeah,
so this one kind of has not necessarily a similar texture to like the ESU costume. It doesn't really do enough to justify me advocating for it more than B tier.
Yeah, I agree.
And honestly, there's not much to say about it. It's just, hey, it's a good movie costume. Awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of movie costumes.
Speaking of a good movie costume, this thing is going S tier. Into the,
yeah,
I'm mad. Okay, I'm mad that this thing didn't get into Spider-Man 2.
Which makes no sense because you did the thing with Miles, and you could have had both of them.
They have the Miles costume from Across the Spider-Verse, I think, not the Into the Spider-Verse one, right? Which makes no sense. They did put in Noir, Spider-Verse Noir, which I guess sure. But this costume not being in that game was
an apology for taking an S tier suit, which is the other Noir suit. I'm sorry, the one from the comics. I love the one that's in this game.
But like this costume, what's upsetting to me is that this is the costume that you get like at 100%. So unless you're getting New Game Plus, you're waiting till like the literal end of the game.
So literally because of the last screwball mission, I did not get this suit. It took me a month to finish that stupid ass final screwball mission. I had everything done but the screwball mission. And then I was like, well, I'm done with everything. And then I finally get that suit and it's like, fuck.
Well, now I got nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
All right. Comics Iron Spider, putting in B tier.
Yeah.
It's one of those costumes that I don't hate, but like I don't get like people always coming back to it.
I remember that initial design, like Quesada putting it out there, and I just was like, this is niche. And then I don't remember. It wasn't. It may have been. It was the cover where he had the Waldos, and he's sitting. He's like crouched. But he's
sitting on Cap's shield.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, that one looks. In that image, it looks great. It's okay. It did a good job.
It's a good recreation. I don't have any
good recreation. Yeah, like it's same thing. I think with the Iron Spider movie suit, I think it does a good job.
I don't like the Iron Spider MCU suit though.
Yeah, you can put it in C. It's fine.
Honestly, I don't have anything else to say about it that I haven't said on like other shows and other episodes of the Spidey Experience.
I like that suit, but it's because it's probably the closest we'll ever get to Ben Reilly's suit, so I kind of have a bit of a nostalgic soft spot for it. However,
if they need to either get rid of the gold or they need to get rid of the blue, all three of them together looks awful.
I honestly think it would be a even better regarded suit without the gold. If they had just gotten rid of the gold, it'd have been like,
and they didn't have as glossy of a texture.
Yeah, I agree. Because it looks CGI. That's also part of the issue with it too.
Mr. Stark, it smells like a new car in here. Anyways, S tier suit, Last Stand.
Oh yeah. Inject that in my veins. A massively underrated suit. I did like that Ezekiel wore that suit in Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and then he died like 10 seconds in. Okay, negative suit. Not the negative zone suit from, what was it, Peter Parker's Spider-Man?
It was Peter Parker's Spider-Man, number 90 to 98.
Oh wait, I thought it was 98. I was wrong. My bad. C tier, bottom C tier, because
bottom C tier. Yeah, I agree.
It's not like bad. It's just the negative. It's okay. So you know the photo booth app on like MacBooks.
Yeah.
What happens if you ran the advanced suit through that thing? That's what you get.
Yep. Basically,
it's just to show how heckin' scary Mr. Negative is. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of bad,
yeah, this thing. What this is even called? I forgot.
Oh, it's an Insomniac suit. That's just all you need to know.
Yeah, F tier.
F tier.
There's nothing telling me like what this suit is, what it's supposed to do. Like the silver looks weird against the dark red and the glossy blue. It's like, like Insomniac, what the hell were you thinking, man?
Now here we are at a suit that I think
at a crossroads. At a crossroads.
We're gonna fight about this one because I unironically love this suit. I love the little details on it. I love the subtleties of the shading. I get why people don't like it though.
The Jim Lee lines are the two-tone shading for one thing.
Right.
And then the Jim Lee lines.
The two-tone shading for me, I love Kane's design. I've always felt like that it was missing something on the bottom to break up from the black spider down. But that's also what makes it unique, so I understand that. So for me, the two-tone shading was like a good compromise for it. So that's why I'm like, I like it, but...
So my thought is, I don't hate the two tones. I think the Jim Lee lines and like how they break into the black, that's what upsets me more than anything. It's the unnecessary lines going in. I could even live with them if they were going just through the red, just to break up the two tones of the colors.
Right.
But when it breaks into the black of the costume, that's where it loses me.
So honestly, I mean, for me, I would say it would be an S tier, but I would be okay with an A tier. Does it drop it 2?
I'm thinking either top of B or bottom of A tier. Let's go
bottom
with
of
bottom.
A tier.
Let's go bottom of A tier. All right. Okay, this thing.
Now Ben's suit.
I'm going top of A tier or bottom of S tier.
Bottom of S tier.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh yeah, I brought the Clone Saga fan on.
Yeah, no. Listen, baby. Listen. In terms of the interpretation of the suit and the spirit of the suit, probably more so than even just the suit itself. Like the makeshift look of the web shooters and the belt. That to me,
they got it.
Normally that would annoy me, but I'm like, in the spirit of like how this is supposed to be thrown together, yes. So that I'm glad we agree on it being S tier.
Speaking of thrown together, Secret War, F tier.
F tier. I hate that suit. I've hated that suit ever since it came out. I still hate it.
One of Gabriel Del Auto's few L's.
Okay, now
on the other hand,
I'm gonna say it A tier for me on that one, on the Mark 1, because I wish there was more silver that was less reflecting.
The reflection really brings it down for me. It's really faithfully recreated except for that shine. So I'm gonna compromise and let's say bottom of B tier. I think we're kind of agreed on like what the problem is that it's too damn shiny.
Yeah, like honestly, the Marvel Legend version, which I can literally go grab off my shelf if you want me to show it as a means of like comparing it, because the Marvel Legend is actually from the game, but it takes away the shine and it just makes it more matte in terms of a finish. And yes, it adds. Some people might not like the texturing that it adds in the black parts, but honestly, if they had done this, it had been damn close to the comic. A pretty
this one,
a great one. Like of the DLCs, that's like that and Kane and the Into the Spider-Verse suits, I think, are amongst the top of the 9 DLC suits.
So the next one's a bit of a controversial one, and I know people don't really like the big time suits because we talked about the stealth suit. Let's talk about the bulletproof one.
Yeah, the massacre suit.
The Marcos Martin suit. This one, I'm gonna say middle of B tier because I don't have anything against this costume, but
I honestly like it better since the game came out. There is a couple of suits in here that I've liked better because of the game.
Like they enhance the experience.
Retroactively. Yeah, they enhanced the experience for me, and that was amongst them.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to say about this one. I think this actually does what the anti-Ox suit was supposed to do.
And it's clearly the inspiration for the anti-Ox suit. I mean, clearly.
The anti-Ox suit gets dragged down hard by like the glowing lights and like the texture on the inside of the biceps, or like the weird like
the Waldo bullshit.
breaking up, yeah. I actually like the glossy, like the really reflective helmet because it looks like a motorcycle helmet, which was the intention of
Marcos Martin.
The design of the design, both in Marcos Martin's designs, but also in how it was applied at Horizon Labs for later use. So it kind of works out that way for me. Ends of the Earth. I like this costume.
I do too.
I think it works. Okay, this is one of those. You mentioned that the bulletproof suit is the one that is enhanced by the game. This one to me is dehanced by the game.
Yes, when it's drawn by Stefano Caselli, I like it. When it's bottom of B. It looks too much like a football. It's like Super Pro meets Spider-Man.
The stylization of comics allows it to look great, and that's why I like it when Caselli and I'll be honest, I actually really like it when Ramos draws it.
Yeah, Ramos did a good job on that too.
But I think Caselli is kind of the owner, justifiably, of the design. So, all right. Speaking of spider armors, the Mark IV, the all new, all different.
Another suit, honestly, that I really like in the game. I hated it on the page.
Oh, with the stupid glow.
With the stupid ass glow. Kamenkoli always drew it really well. I think Alex Ross does it really well. And I think that's why it works better in the video game, because it was designed by Ross and has that realistic element to it.
My only gripe with it is the glow.
Yes.
Or not the glow, the reflective texture. If it was a matte finish and they took off the glow from the spider and kept it on the eyes, S tier. But I'm putting it in the middle of A tier.
That's fair.
Anyways, Mangaverse. I'm putting it in middle of C tier.
Middle C tier, yeah, it's okay. It's not great.
It's once again one of those really good stylized ones. But it's not much to say about it. It's just
they did a good job. Yeah, they did get a job bringing it to. But again, Mangaverse was not my favorite of the DLCs. It's like, okay. It's not the one.
It's not the one I was like gunning to get.
Right. Yeah. Like the Iron Spider suits, the two 90s inspired suits, into the Spider-Verse suit, those were the ones that I was really gunning for. Mangaverse was like, take it or leave it.
It's like, sure, I guess I'll take it.
That and the Aaron one, the first one we did.
Oh, what's this Alien? I don't care. All new, all different 2099. I know this one is kind of like divisive, but I like it.
I like it too. Again, I have liked it in this and in action figure form. More so than even when Will Sliney did it, and Will Sliney did a good job.
I didn't like Sliney's version of it because I feel like to me Sliney is like the opposite of Chris Anka, who designed the costume, and Anka designed it to be really angular and blocky, and then Sliney just does like a regular human body with there's some shit sticking out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say top of B tier. It looks pretty good. Okay, this one is going to be controversial. I'm going to rank it lower than the 2099 all new, all different costume.
Really? Because I really like it.
My argument is this. Having a sequel ruined this costume for me.
Yeah, no, because you can tweak the colors on it and you can make it black and red.
Like the real black and like vivid red. And it's like, this costume is fine. I'm going to put it right below all new, all different. Having the sequel and being able to get that real black that the comics were going for brings this down a little bit for me.
Noir, I would say A tier, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna say middle of A tier between all new, all different and Bagman. It's missing the problem is it's missing the hat and the.
Yeah, I mean, look, it definitely
and the trench coat.
Yeah, it's missing the trench coat, but I thought it's a pretty good design. It reminds me a lot of the what was the other game? Shattered Dimensions.
Oh yeah, where it was who voiced
Christopher Daniel Barnes.
Spider-Punk, bottom of A tier.
Bottom of A tier is fine.
Good looking suit.
Not my favorite character, not my favorite design, but in terms of like an interpretation of the design on the screen. Now, I do think that Across the Spider-Verse does it better. It looks more punk. But
the problem with a realistic game is that like when you take a really not abstract but really stylized costume like Punk and then try to put him in a realistic setting, you lose the sauce.
Yeah. If you read just Spider-Verse, right, and you saw him in just the main Spider-Verse book, how the game does it is how it's portrayed. So.
If they did Across the Spider-Verse Hobie as a Miles costume, instant S tier for me.
Probably.
Especially if they do like the sound effects that he uses and janky punk aesthetic.
Yeah.
As like a texture cloud over him, that would look really good. All right, what's this guy's name? Billy Braddock.
Billy Braddock, Spider UK.
Beans on toast, F tier. Just because he's British.
I don't like that design. It's like a Union Jack meets Spider-Man, and I didn't like it during Spider-Verse.
There's too much going on. There's too much going on.
Yeah, it's just.
I'll put it at the top of F tier. It's not like the worst, but it's not like.
Yeah. No.
Well, speaking of in F tier, this thing.
I don't like that. I just read literally the first meeting of Ghost Rider and Peter.
Oh, like
Marvel team up. Yeah, and so that's a weird suit, and every time I look at it, my eye is drawn to the crotch for some reason, and that's not a good thing.
They stole the inclement effect from Halo Reach. That's what I think of every time I do this.
Yeah, MCU suit, A tier, bottom of A tier.
I put it above Kane. My main gripe with it is the MCU part of it, which is like all the weird black lines and shit all over
the unnecessary amount of technifying the suit.
Yeah,
like
I'm fine with like the web shooter. The web shooters I'm fine with, but it's like everything, like all the piping on the shoulders and the web cartridges
also,
on the outside.
The webbing that they CGI'd out from the original suit.
Now, if in the game we got the Tom Holland suit with the raised webbing as a style option, that'd be S tier.
Yeah. It's a good suit, don't get me wrong.
It's just okay.
It's just okay, yeah.
And the reason it's so high on this list is because it does a good job realizing that vision and putting it in the game engine.
Night Monkey.
Okay. I'm putting this one bottom of C tier.
Okay.
Night Monkey is only really funny in Far From Home, and I don't even think he's really that funny.
It's funny because I remember my ex-wife's nephews. Anytime he was like 4, and he was like, "I want to watch Night Monkey," and that was why it became retroactively cute because he was wanting to watch Far From Home. But I get why you put it at C tier because it's a super basic ass suit. It is a basic ass suit.
So it's like a turtleneck and a ski mask with
the weird eyes. You know, it reminds me of like, you remember that cover on Ultimate when Miles joins. I think it was Vasquez that did it. Yeah,
no, it was Marquez.
That's what it reminds me of. It was Marquez. That's right, not Vasquez.
All right, underwear suit.
Yeah, it's an F.
The only thing it's good for is when you're playing the Black Cat DLC.
Yeah, that makes it unironically funny. Like the memes that have been made from that suit are unironically funny. The other thing I've never gotten was the ESU suit where I haven't done all the like, I guess I haven't got all the landmarks.
Oh, just the t-shirt one.
Yeah, because like that one's like a super hidden ass suit that you have to like do a bunch of shit to get to, and it's not worth it. Worth it for the memes. Other than that, not worth it.
Far From Home suit. Okay, I used to like this one, but the more detail I see on it, the less I like it.
B tier.
Bottom B.
Bottom B. Okay. The speed suit.
The velocity suit. The suit that got its own spin-off comic.
It's
not F.
It's not bottom of C. It's a bottom of C. If it's not an F, it's bottom of C. Yeah. Okay, here's going to be a controversial one. I think the cell shade suit's an S tier suit.
Everyone thinks that. That's not. Okay. That's the coldest take I've ever seen.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Perfect stylization of the costume.
Oh yes. Inject the dude. Like there are like 4 suits that I cycle through when I'm playing in the game. I play mostly with Scarlet Spider 1, but I will swap it out with that suit and the other suit, the cartoon suit. But yeah. So,
all right, this one's gonna be a maybe controversial one.
That's
bottom or top of A.
What? No.
Okay. So my reasoning for this is that I don't think Insomniac's lighting engine really captures the way that the films captured the silver lining on the suit. Plus, they it's a very minor change. If you don't really pay attention, the lenses I think are curved slightly, which I think goes against the very geometric aesthetic that Raimi went for.
So my pushback on that, having played the remastered edition in that suit in 4K, that's what makes it S tier, because I think it gives you more of that lighting, that takes away that lighting issue because of the ray tracing in the remastered version on PS5.
I think
so that's why I would say it's an S tier suit. So that would be my only pushback of putting it maybe at the bottom of S tier. But if you want to keep the controversy, you can keep the controversy. This is your ranking. That's just my opinion.
Let's put it at the bottom of S tier.
Hey, all right.
Because your argument isn't invalid, especially because I played on remastered on my computer. They might have fixed it in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, agreed. All right, wrestling suit. B. C. It's a C. It's a C tier.
Top of C.
Okay, that's fine.
Between Aaron and Antioch.
I agree with that.
It's. I think this is like the in-universe origin costume for Insomniac Peter, right?
No, that's actually from Ultimate Spider-Man. The Bagley. That was the Bagley wrestler suit from Ultimate Spider-Man 3.
All right. It's basketball time. Which hoop we shooting through?
I'm gonna say bottom of A, top of B.
I'll put it in between Armor and Cyborg because it's my problems are more with the suit itself rather than how the game translates it.
The game did a good job translating an imperfect suit, although it has its fans.
Javi.
Why the fuck it has fans, I don't know, but it has its fans. Oh no, Javi loves this ASM2 suit.
Why do I think I like? Why do I? Oh, is it Paul who likes this one?
Paul may like it. I don't remember.
Okay, the Common Rider suit.
Oh, that's an ass suit. Just ass.
Okay, here's the thing. I love it because it makes people mad. That's my reasoning. Okay, it flagrantly goes against every design element of Spider-Man and its design rules. But it's really funny watching people lose their shit over it.
Yeah, that's amongst the last suits we got too.
I'm making a new tier. And you know what? I'm gonna go even further.
Oh no! What the hell? No!
Oh. Oh my god, he left.
Anyway, we got one more suit. Let's get the last suit out of here.
This is the advanced armor suit, right? Top of F.
Yeah, I would say top of F. It's in a here's my thing about overly white suits. Future Foundation is definitely the exception, but for the most part, when you have a mostly white suit,
You're relying a lot on the colorist. Anyways, here's our tier list.
Yeah, so our tier list with the LAMO at the very, very top because of blasphemy.
All right, so you guys know the drill, or no, you don't, because this is the only tier list we've ever made. If you guys agree with us, let us know in the comments in one sentence. I agree with that. If you disagree with anything, type an even longer comment in the comments section telling us why you disagree and where you think something should be in a different tier. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe and hit that bell at the top. There is a bell, I think, still. YouTube's always changing. We're done. Next time, we're doing, I guess, Miles. And then you can hate us for our opinions again for another costume.